Okay, something's on the glass from a previous demo. I just heard it. That beeping noise. Yeah, I didn't take it off the glass. It beeped before, but I was just finishing up, so I'm just taking this and I'm just going to put it in the corner. Don't know what to do with it. Anyway, we'll see what we do anyway with this. It's a bit of a hot day today, as usual. We're still in February and it's hot in Sydney. So all Sydney town is a little bit hot in the summertime. Yeah, well. Anyway, let's see what we're doing with this. Gonna make it more contrasty. This will be something my dad really likes. We'll see what we can do with it. Right, let's see what it is. I don't know how big we're going to make it yet, but anyway, it is Voices Celestium 6th and a 6th charity concert. So this is like a concert. My dad absolutely loves orchestral music. He's been into that shit since a very long time ago. So yeah, he's not into pop music generally speaking, although he does like the Beatles and ABBA. So we're going to photocopy that. So basically he doesn't like much pop music. He used to call it junk music. When I was a kid, I think it was in 1978 when I was only 5, I was tuning Dad's radio and I tuned into a pop music station, obviously, and he said, turn that off, it's junk music. He called it junk music. So I was brought up for most of my early childhood with orchestral music, and then I discovered rock and roll coming to Sydney. So yeah, he just doesn't like much of the pop music. Actually, that's interesting we've framed it like this, because we still got the writing. I'm wondering if we're going to get rid... We don't want the writing, really, but it looks like we've framed it quite nicely. We're just going to try and skim across the top of it. But yeah, my dad really likes this shit. I'm actually thinking we're going to keep the writing for a change. We're not going to remove it. We're going to leave it. It's nicely framed. But basically, yeah, Dad just loves this stuff. See how we go. I'm more into electronic music, and I do like electronic classical music, like Switched on Bach, which was the first actual album of synthesizer music that I actually listened to, and it was my dad's record collection, and that was back in 1982, and that's when I discovered synthesizers on my 9th birthday, in January the 1st, 1982. But basically, I'm more into the electronic stuff, and I like techno, I like synthesizer pop, like the Human League. So I really love electronic music, primarily. But my dad's more into the orchestral stuff. I think Dad must have bought the Switched on Bach probably as a bit of a whim or a bit of curiosity. But he sort of denies that he appreciates it. He's a bit embarrassed, I think. But Switched on Bach is a very good example of orchestral music being transposed into synthesizer form. Synthesizer works when well played, well performed or recorded. In the case of Switched on Bach, you couldn't perform it live, but basically it sounds really good. It really goes well with orchestral music, the synthesizer, when lovingly played. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you the name of the album. It's by Switched on Bark was by a person who originally was formerly known as Walter Carlos, but he wasn't happy with his gender, so he obviously made a lot of money out of Switched on Bark, and he had a sex change operation and became known as Wendy Carlos. So if you want to look him up on the internet, it's easier to find him, or who's become a her, by putting in the keywords Wendy Carlos, not Walter Carlos. He obviously doesn't like his original gender, so it's easier to find him under the name of Wendy rather than the original name Walter. Anyway, that's for your information. Gotta go.